Welcome to Cloud Training for Enthusiasts. My name is Usatome Patrick Aibogun, and today is the 25th of June, 2022. And last week we talked about infrastructure as a service. And today we are going to have fun talking about cloud computing. Okay, infrastructure as a service, when we're talking about infrastructure as a service last week, our emphasis was more on VPC, networking and gateway and load balancer. We'll focus on networking. And today we are still going to talk about little of networking. We're talking about storage. We'll talk about security group. And last week we were able to talk about nomenclature, talking about the availability zone, the fault domain, the fault domain, the availability zone, the availability domain and region. We talked about it last week. Then we also talked about scalability and automation. As I said, these are the things, these are the parts, the blocks that makes up infrastructure as a service. But on top of this, another part that also make up infrastructure as a service is called the compute. Because all these things we mentioned, all these resources we mentioned, they are the basics that you have to set up for you to actually have a free access into your server. Just like I mentioned last week that our local laptop that we have storage, we have the CPU, we have RAM, you understand? Just the way we have those resources in our local laptop, same server also have, you understand me? And do our own local laptop, we call it in GB, but in cloud, it's called GIB. GIB and GB is the same thing. So that GIB refers to, when you say GB means gigabytes, Abi. So gigabyte, but in cloud it's called GIB. It's also gigabytes. You understand? But when you see anything GIB, know that they're talking about cloud-related capacity. You understand me? So the same thing. They have their own capacity, their own speed and everything. I'm going to be setting up a VM today. But I think we should talk a little about the load balancer and storage. No, I think when we talk about VM, we'll talk about load balancer. To also come, they are all going to go hand in hand. And storage too, we'll talk about storage that before you spin up a laptop, you need a hard drive. Are you getting me? Then after you spin up a laptop, modern day laptop now have a drive. We call it, if it's a MacBook, we call it is it iCloud? Yes, call it iCloud. Then if you are using Gmail, you have a Google Drive, Abi. All of us have a Google Drive attached to our Google account. Che? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're right.
So all of us have a Google Drive, at least 5 gig attached to your account, free. Yeah. But if you notice that when you save anything in that Google Drive, if you want to send anybody any file, the person does not need to set up a laptop, you know. Huh? Or the person.
Yes.
So when the person set up a laptop, you don't need to, you just send that person the URL. That person will you give the person the right to read or write. If the person have the right to read, it's just to view. If the person have the right to just to write, the person can download the file. That kind of storage is called object storage, because every object can be called separately. You can send any object to anybody. For example, you want to send picture has a URL. If you want to send video have a URL. If you want to send a file, the file has a URL. As it's not as the same thing as saving a file in a hard drive. If you want to save a file in a hard drive, hard drive has a way of, has a format that it sends that a file is being saved. That's why when you say format a laptop, you are not actually erasing that laptop. You are just changing the format that hard drive is saving file. How many of us understand that's what happened? When you delete a file from your hard drive, the file still remains in your hard drive. But just that space that file is staying, is occupying, that space is reserved. So a file can still be saved there. But if you run a recovery, you can still get back that file the way it is. And if you did not save any file, the same name on that hard drive, that name, that index will still be in that hard drive. That's why most laptops that leaves US to Africa, they always remove the hard drive. That's why most companies that are selling their laptop, they don't sell the laptop with the hard drive because that hard drive can be retrieved. So the way hard drives save files and the way those Google Drives save files, they are different. So that hard drive that you have in your laptop is called a block storage. You understand? It's called a block storage. It could be SDD, SD, HDD. HDD means hard disk drive. You understand me? SDD means solid state drive, SSD, while SDD means solid disk drive. You understand me? We also have SD, which is canned disk. They are all drives. Those drives are block storage. But there's another drive called file storage. That file storage is it's basically used to save a system that save image in form of a filing using a filing process. Most times, if you are having three database, you want the database to share resources, you can save your file in a file storage system and share that file storage system within the database like a storage. You know, not like a block storage now. So you'll be able to retrieve files. You know, when you talk about filing, you want to talk about rows and columns, just like CSV file and XLX file, which is also known as Excel file. You understand me? So that's the way those storage save. It's not like a block storage that save in the form of a format or image storage or what we call object storage, like save files independently with their own different identity. You understand me? Or a file storage that save in row and, you understand me? So those are their different type of storages that cloud provides. AWS also provides it. Example of a block storage in AWS is called, we also call it block storage. You can call it most block storage. I will show you. There are so many. We have SD. The same thing SD, SD2 is called GP. We have general purpose. We have sport. We have so many parts. We're going to show you too. Then example of object storage. We have two types of object storage in AWS. We have let's go to AWS that will come. Okay. As a caution is the custom is I'm not going to be sharing my. Who is going to volunteer today? Somebody should volunteer to share the console. Please, everybody log into AWS.
Volunteer.
Okay, volunteer. Please share your screen. Let me enable you. So I'm going to be taking random. I'm going to be calling randomly. Why I allow you to share? Because whenever you share your screen and you follow through, it gives that sense of ownership over your infrastructure. So everybody on your log into AWS and let's start having the fun. At the end of today's class, we are going to launch an instance. I want to tell you the difference between places so that the language will not be too heavy. Please, who has logged in? First to log in. Anybody that have logged in, please just signify.
I'm logged in.
Beautiful. Share. Prince, we still log in. Anybody that log in, just signify.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Prince, we log in too. I'm going to be intertwining. Anybody log in, please.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Let me stop sharing mine. Okay, I can see it now. Okay, please expand it, maximize it.
It's big. It's
already maximized. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go to services. Scroll down services. Okay, see. Look at those services. The way the former UI of AWS is not like this.
Yeah.
Normal UI, immediately you touch these services, everything will come out, will flow out. You understand? And you start seeing it. But AWS have decided to arrange it according to feed, according to discipline. You understand me? According to people that want to use it. For example, the first one was for analysis, but we're not going to analysis. Let's go to.
You mentioned EC2.
Huh? We have
Did you say
EC2,
EC2?
we have database. Let's go to storage.
Storage.
That you have passed, you just click storage now. Okay, if you look at this storage, we have how many storage you see there? Count them. 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Beautiful. These 7 storage you see, remove your console. These 7 storage you see here, they are actually 3. But this part here is focused on 2. But there's another one that is under EC2. These 3 storages here are basically a service, storage as a service. You understand me? Not really like type of storage. Like the first one, AWS backup, if you can see, it's used to back up resources. What is a backup? Maybe something is running, you want to keep it so that others in near future you can reuse it or reinstall it. The kind of storage you use there, most storage you use there is block storage, but you can also use S3 to do backup. You can also use object storage to do backup. Then we have EFS. EFS means Elastic File System. Is that, remember I told you about file storage now? That's the kind of service that it does. It's basically used to share resources between database. Then we have, which one, the third one? Disaster recovery. That's a service that AWS provides. But the kind of storage you use there, you can also use block storage, and most times you can also use S3 storage. But we have a FSX. That FSX is for long term. You want to save file you want to save in file storage. Elastic File SS is for we want to save file, you want to see backup database or backup files that you know you will not use it at the moment, that you're going to use it for a very long time. So if you save file there that you want to use now in that storage, you're going to be paying more. But if you save files that you want to use in no long term, you will pay less. But in that EFS, if you want to save a storage file that you want to use now, you pay less. But if you save file there that is going to stay for long, you pay more. You understand me? That is for EFS. Then we have S3. That S3 means Simple Storage Service, SSS. You understand me? Is basically used for it's like Google Cloud. It's like Google Cloud, Google Drive. It's almost like Google Drive. Just like this one have more features, which we are going to go into. It's used to save file that you want to consume in a short term. Mostly for object storage files. It's used to save object storage file. As a matter of fact, this is one of the most selling products of AWS, apart from EC2 instance, because you don't only use it across all resources. You can also use it for website. You can use it for cache memory, for CloudFront. You can use it for many things. We in our class are going to be using it. For example, this video we have now, I may decide not to be sharing it in YouTube. I may decide to keep it in this S3 bucket. Only those that are registered with us will be able to see this video. I will send them a key to authenticate. So you can go and see the link. You can share the link with anybody. But if you don't have that key, you will not see that video. You understand me? So most of this YouTube, most of the YouTube you watch, let's say Netflix, most of those Netflix videos are saved inside this S3 bucket, as if they are using AWS. So it can save petabyte of data. So it has very big, massive storage. You understand me? That's the S3. It's basically the most. You can also use it for coding. You can also use it to save version control. I will explain that later. Then we have S3 Glacier. S3 Glacier is the same thing as S3, just that is basically used to store a long-term application that you don't want to, a long-term object that you don't want to use now. You understand me? That you don't want to use now, that it's being used for. Then we have a storage gateway. Storage gateway, just like normal, we have other way. It's a way of, it's a service that allow you to have access to other storage. Just like we have internet gateway. So, and other, if you want to do the what we call SAN, which is a storage access network. I think SAN. So most times you use that gateway to navigate between two storages. So that is for that. And you can read more about it, about this self-storage. So we are going to demonstrate S3, we'll demonstrate block storage. The block storage, you will not see more block storage here. Block storage is actually at the server side, but it's also part of storage. So we demonstrate S3, we'll demonstrate block storage, then we'll go into one or two stuff and we'll move. But the same way, why we're not using EFS? Because EFS is basically for filing system. You understand me? We'll do that one later. So can you click that S3? Everybody click that S3. Then you see this S3, you see it's telling you a bucket. A bucket is like it's like a storage container in S3 bucket, like a container. Just the way we have a repository in GitHub, and you also have a local file directory in your system. So S3 called their own bucket. So you can keep files inside, and you can give that file, that bucket, control. That's who can access it, who will not be able to access it. You understand? That's where you make your control. So let's create a fresh bucket. Okay, now you can call it any name, but don't put space. Don't use capital letter. Because bucket, since it's an object storage, don't use capital, don't use it. What I mean by capital letter, it means uppercase. Don't use uppercase. So just call it. Then take note of the region you are putting it. You see it? Mm-hmm. So I think it's a global resources. S3 is a global resources, meaning if you save it, you can save it somewhere in a region where you are saving, but it can be accessed anywhere. Okay, now you're talking about, you can see at default, at default, everything is disabled for public. Look at the first front, the first block is talking about, the first one is talking about storage. I'll be talking about, the first one is talking about
access to the public.
Beautiful. Now, anything you put to the public is no longer secure. You know, as I told you, security is actually restricting people, restricting access to something. You know, that is security. For example, if I tell you my password, it's no longer a secret, you know, it's not a public thing. So the reason why is they call a password is because the word, I know it, but you don't know it. So this bucket too, because it's work with URL, you have to control it here if you are going to share to public or not. But I want you to disable it. If we are working in the same company, all of us are working in the same company, all of us we've created an IAM. Remember I told you what's an IAM, Identity and Access Management user, IAM user, meaning a user that was created by a root user, you understand? So that the person can have access to the AWS account. If you do that, that person, and you give that person the access to this S3 bucket, that was the only time the person will have access to this bucket. Most companies save their sensitive information here and they use this thing to control it. So, but I want you to remove that top. But mind you, must go and do this by yourself because most companies do not share their resources public. There are some applications you'll be designing that will need access to this S3 bucket. You should know how to create a public and a private one. So you see, when you unblock that, you see under it says your your application is what? See that question. So acknowledge it. It's telling you that you have blocked, you are enabling this thing for the public to see. But even as you have done this, you have not actually still made it available for public. You understand me? So we have, you only made it that you can allow the object inside to have access to the public, but you doing this does not make it look like. So what are the options you have there? Block public access, Abi, to the bucket. The second one is block access, public access to the what?
To the bucket and
the object. The third one says
block public access to bucket and objects granted through new public buckets or access points policies.
Okay. So if you want people to have access to the bucket, you don't have any public to have access to the bucket. That's when you pick any of those options. See those options that you have. One says everything is block public, block public, block public. So one is saying block public access cross section. Go down. Let's make this one public first. We're going to make private. No, don't click anyone. Let it be open. Scroll down.
Okay. Versioning.
Now, versioning means that if I save a file in the same project and I name the file the same name, for example, I called it SAW1. If I'm saving that file again to that bucket, it's supposed to override that SAW1. If I save on that file, I call it SAW1. You know what that means? SAW1 will override the first one. Abi, we will copy and will tell you that there's a file here already called SAW1. But if I enable versioning, sorry, what will happen is that if I save a file, I call it SAW1. If I'm saving another file again, I call it SAW1. We'll not say SAW1 version 2. If I save a file again, say SAW1, we'll not say SAW1 version 3.
Version 3.
That is how Git works. When you save a file, you can decide to tag it and start giving it a version. So when you enable that version there, we can save a file with the same name, and the file will have its own option, but we don't want to do that. That's the version in there. Scroll down. Scroll down. Tag. Most times, if you want a resources to enjoy another resources, you can say a resources that any resource that have that tag. A tag is just like a tag, like a label. It's okay. Any resources that have this label, use it. So you can use that tag to call other resources to make use of it. But now you can leave that tag, but you can tag it the same way you tag name, click tag, and give it a name. Just a name, let the key be name.
Okay.
Then give it a name, call it testing. This one, you can use any case, you can use space, you can use anything. Then you have target. Now, scroll down, enable encryption at default, disabled. Most times it's disabled. But if you want to encrypt it, that means you can share it to public, people can see it, but they will not be able to read the file unless you decrypt it, and you have to give them that key. But for now, leave it. Sometimes you do that. Then let's go for another one. Advanced setting. Click the advanced setting.
Okay.
Go down. What did you see there? Object lock. Yeah. What did you say about object lock there?
Start objects using a write once read many mode to help you prevent objects from being deleted or overwritten for a fixed amount of time or item.
So this is like a life cycle management of an object. If you enable it, nobody will be able to delete it accidentally. Some people can delete files accidentally and will start giving you an excuse. So you can use that one to keep your file so that people will not delete it. Now scroll up again. I think there's one option I would miss from the beginning. Good, you can see. Yes. That object ownership, you see, we have two types. ACL disabled and ACL enabled. You understand me? If you look at the ACL enabled, what is it telling you there?
Objects in this bucket can be owned by other AWS accounts. Access to
What's
this
the
bucket.
what's the first one you have there?
All objects in this bucket are owned by this account. Access to this bucket and its object is specified using only policies.
Okay, let me explain to you. A company can have more than 10 AWS accounts. Yes. And what they will do, they will now use what we call iTower. You understand me? Please, mute. A company can have more than 10 AWS accounts. I work with a company that have 23 AWS accounts. Meaning they create AWS account based on project or based on resources. It's a way of, hello? It's a way of controlling resources so that those, for example, we are all DevOps engineers. We can create an AWS account for DevOps engineers. So anybody that joined DevOps will be using that AWS account. We can also create another one for data analysis. Anybody that is working in AWS and data analysis will be using that one. You understand me? So we can create different AWS accounts for different things. But you will now have a centralized control way that you can access all the AWS resources. That centralized control is called iTower, AWS iTower, AWS Tower. So with that tower, you can log into, you can even design it in a way that anybody that log into the iTower can select the account he wants to go to. Or maybe somebody will log into the iTower, then you can now from the iTower and log into any AWS resources. Please, I'm not supposed to say this. I'm supposed to take this one to the next class, but because of this access control that you see now, this object ownership. So if you do it in this place, only those that have access to this AWS account will be able to use this AWS resources. But sometimes you need to share some bucket across board. That's why sometimes you need to enable that one, the other ACL. ACL means access control list. You understand me? That's the meaning of ACL. So these are the two ways you can do it. For now, all of us are here. Let's do that. Then scroll down, scroll. I think there's one you do fine grain so that you'll be able to go down, scroll up.
Up or down?
Up. I just don't want us to miss anything. Okay.
So are we good?
Yeah, we are good. Create it.
Okay.
So because you have made this AWS account, go ahead. Because you have made,
I think
okay.
Is referring back. You said after creating this bucket, you can upload first. Okay. So is referring me back to this. I think there's something missing.
The little I'll be missing maybe the name. Go to look at the name.
Okay,
yes.
yeah, the name. Yes, the bucket already is with this name. Okay, I think I created this name with DevOps team. Okay, so let's just use DevOps.
Let's give it something new. But that's only time sometimes.
Okay, because the bucket names are global. So like it's not just for us alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a URL. It's like you're creating a domain name.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Let's just say
come on, put 1, 2, 3 now, 1, 2, 3, 4 or something. Okay, or you don't know how to create email. Just 1, 2, 3.
Everything is everything.
Then put special character. No, don't put special character. It will not work.
It won't work. Okay.
It don't work, Abby.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that is fine. Okay.
Well, that's your AWS name and your account is what makes up the URL of your stuff. Now you just created a bucket now. Despite you made the bucket public, it does not mean that the object inside will be public. You have to still give the object inside access. Okay, open that bucket. Have you opened the bucket? Open it, yes. Now you now start loading file. Every file you load will have its own URL. What I mean by URL, we have a link that you can give to anybody to access that file. That's why it's called object. Because an object is like something that exists that have no object storage, like just like object language that exists, that have characters they have its own nomenclature. Means like a physical object. But this is a virtual object. Put a video, a very short video. Don't you have any short video?
I don't have anything.
Or
I
put
don't
a
have
picture.
anything.
Put your fine
I
picture
don't have
now.
any, I don't have any picture.
Put any object. You must have something. Any object.
Okay, let's do I don't know online statements. No, these are my personal stuff, so we can't go. Let me put this cheat.
That thing you put, can somebody view it?
Yes, somebody can view
Okay,
this thing. Yeah.
beautiful. We need that Git
Yeah.
sheet. Now that Git sheet that you just added, you are going to give that Git sheet access.
Okay.
Scroll down. We first of all talked about
Upload it.
destination. No, don't upload it yet. Nobody will be
Okay.
able to access it. Scroll down
Yeah, I'm down already.
and go to destination details.
Okay.
What is it telling you there?
So I have bucket versioning. I have default encryption. I have object lock.
Okay. No, say enable bucket versioning. No, leave it.
Okay.
You're not versioning anything. But if you enable bucket versioning, if you save another file again in the same name, or we should try it, Abby. Let's try the versioning. Enable it.
Okay.
Scroll down.
Yeah. I have permission. And I have
Permission. Yes.
properties.
Click that permission. Scroll down. What did it tell you?
This bucket has the bucket owner enforced setting applied for object ownership. Use bucket policies to control access.
Go down.
Okay, I have property.
Go click.
Is the storage class is do I want to store it in standard IA intelligent standard IA one zone glacial all this.
So remember I mentioned to you that AWS have different type. Abi? We have Glacier.
Yes.
So all these ones are the different type of S3 buckets.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, the duration, the availability zone, that means the zone that you can find them, and you get them where you can get them, they are there. The number, the minimum storage duration. Remember I told you if you are using standard, it's cheaper. Scroll down, just open it up. Go to that bar, yes. No, go on. That bar, that bar under, that scroll bar.
Okay, scroll bar, okay.
Yeah. Move it to the end. You can see to tell you every characteristics of each bucket, the total money, the cost. This one is talking about availability is less than 3 zone, meaning if you save it in this zone, it will be available in this zone. You understand me? Then in less than 3 zones, then the minimum storage duration, this two does not have duration, but you pay as you go. You pay per object. That as the how many objects you do, you start paying paid. Then we have retrieval time. It does not have any retrieval fee. Understand me? But monitoring and auto alerting fee is based on the way people access the object. You can set alert. Anybody that come here and send anything, they will be sending you alert. So another one, scroll down, go back. That's standard. So you can come here and look at these resources. So we have one zone, we have different, that Glacier, remember I told you Glacier is for long term. If you look at Glacier, the minimum days you can access your file, just like fixed deposit, is 90 days. So if you collect your file before 90 days, you pay more. There's another one, Glacier Deep Archive, 180 days. So for that 180 days, they may not even be collecting anything. But for that 180 days, if you collect your file, you will pay more. Sometimes you may not even have access to your file. So it's basically for backup. That something like some of us that are in media, maybe you have delivered the job, you just want to save your file, you want to keep it for a long term. That's where you use it. But if you save a file that you want to use for a long term in this standard, you will pay more. So scroll down.
I'm sorry, did they just add to this because before they had 6? So did they add this one and this one?
Yes, I told you they are working every day. They are improving it on a daily
Okay.
basis.
Yes.
So even me that is talking with you, there are some new things that they've added. Maybe I've not even reached here to check. If you are not
Okay.
using that resources, you will not know. So scroll down. That's why they expect you to be doing your certification every 2 years. Okay, so do you know what?
Oh, I see.
Server-side encryption. There are some application you want to design. You can tell the application to come and pick this S3 bucket. You'll be calling the S3 bucket to use. You understand me? Or saving some files into the S3, but like document service. If you are using document service, you need to create an S3 bucket for you where you will be saving all those documents and like all those user document and even the application document. So you can put it that you can use server service so that server side, so nobody that hack it will be able to access it. Then we have additional checksum, no need. Scroll down the tag, no need to tag it. Metadata, no need. Then open upload. Despite you make this object public, but the object can still not be accessed. You need to go and click on the object. Then go to object of actions. You see make public there. It's not there.
Sorry, it's not there. Okay, it's actually grayed out.
Okay. Click on the object.
Okay. I think this is the object.
Click on the object URL.
This is the URL, okay.
What did it tell you?
It's saying this XML file does not appear to have any style information associated with it.
Because why it's giving you that issue is because there's no access for you to view it yet on the internet. So you have to enable that storage to have. Go to permissions. No permission. Don't you do that, you'll be able to download it. Yes. What do you have in the permission there?
Oh no, I have this canonical ID, canonical. Read, write.
But you see the public there. The public there is not giving you that capacity. So that means we did not enable it. Okay. Go to access point at the left.
Access point at the left. Yeah.
Okay. Go back to the bucket. Go back to the bucket. I mean, the bucket level, we didn't give you permission. You're supposed to have. Click.
So should I open the bucket, okay?
Yeah, open the bucket.
Permission.
Okay, go to permission. Edit permission. What do you see there? Make public. Block. Scroll down. Okay. Save it. Go back to that.
Okay.
Confirm. Scroll down. Maybe the individual block access settings. Click it.
Sorry,
click under that block.
Okay.
Block or yes.
It's grayed out.
What did you say?
It's grayed out.
There's an option that's supposed to have there. Block public access. Okay, scroll down. Bucket policy. Scroll down. Okay. What do we have there? ACL. No, this is the place you are supposed to have access to control here. Everyone, that group, no. If you click that first one, That's for only public. Okay. Okay, scroll up. You are supposed to make this bucket a public, make it public, make it public, make it public, make it public. We are in permission. Go. They say the object can be public, we already know, but the object is not public. Cancel, close it. Go to access policy on top.
Sorry, access policy on top. Okay.
Yes, the last one.
Okay, access points. Okay.
Create an access point. I don't want us to do it. If you create an access point, you'll still be able to make it public, but there's no need. Block, you can see now, it's still tick now. That is why now we'll not be able to see now. You can see we tick block access. I say remove that block access.
We removed it earlier.
Don't make it public. There's no how. We do that. Okay. Scroll down. That's why you're supposed to see under where you were allowed to make it public. No. Leave this one. Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. Up. Wait. Remove network origin, put internet. Yes. Scroll again. Go up. Okay. Go down, go down, go down. Go down. Save this. Save the settings. It's giving you error.
It's bringing me back here. Bringing me back here.
But you didn't go to the front top. You didn't give
Okay,
me
sorry. Access point.
public. It's creating a bit. Or what happened?
Error successful. Blah blah blah. Error when applying to policy. Edit policy and trading. Don't want me to edit the policy.
No, no need. You're not even supposed to go to the public. Just go straight to the object. If we have set up the thing there, I believe there's a key that we do not. It's another advantage of if I'm doing it and you are doing it, you can make one or two. Click that object again. Go to actions. I think there's something we are not. Go to public. That make public supposed to come out.
Okay, so should I go to object actions?
Go to object actions. Edit object actions.
So edit, rename objects, edit storage class. Which of the actions?
Go back to the bucket. What it's telling is that you not enabled public access to this object. That's what it's saying. What it's telling us is that we've not enabled it because there's no how you can access it. Okay, come here. Go to click that object again. The second time we'll create another bucket. Then we'll have to take note of everything we do. Actions, make public supposed to be under. If it's not make public, you cannot get make public. That means something was wrong at the bucket level. So it's not this object. Go to the bucket level.
Okay.
The bucket, go to the bucket, yes. Click that bucket. Something is wrong.
It's checked already. There are no other actions.
There's something that we're missing. Just one support thing can
So do you want us to create a new bucket or?
No, go to click that bucket, then go to bucket actions. No, not delete.
Okay,
Don't
I
delete
clicked. I clicked on it, but there's no bucket. There are no actions. Just copy, empty, delete.
Click that object.
It's clicked already. It's checked already.
I mean, touch it. I think you create another
Okay,
one.
inside.
Something we missed. Yeah, we missed one actions, and that action is what is not making this object to be shared.
Okay, so should I create a new
Understand me?
bucket?
Create another bucket, yes. Just call it public.
Okay. So I left it as EC1. Okay.
Click that region again. The region. It's okay. That's okay. Okay. Choose bucket. No. Settings. No. ACL enabled.
Should we choose this one because we chose this one the last time?
What is it saying? The source one. What is that one? What is it saying?
This one is saying ACL disabled recommended, but it's actually recommended.
No, that's not it. But that's not the reason. Choose the other one though. But that's not the reason. There's a button that shows bucket owner preferred object writer. The object right is owner. No, that one is not it. But just choose that one. Go down. Scroll down.
But you know, it also says the first one is recommended.
Recommended. So should we go back?
Go back. Go click the first. This is not it. Click the first one.
Okay.
This is not it. There's a part where you shows the grain, the type of. It's within here. Click that storage. That yes. Click it. Click it. Now let's look at those options that it has. Nothing like block public. There's two types of storage. There's what we call fine grain. There's what we call standard. It's supposed to be listed here. The fine grain means the object controls it. Why the standard means it's controlled by the bucket. I can't find it here. Scroll down. Turn that into the public. Acknowledge that it's going to be in the public. Yes. Disable object disable it. Scroll down, leave tag. Scroll down. Hurry up, please. Server-side encryption disable.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
What?
No, I said okay.
Go to advanced settings. Scroll down. What did it say?
Object lock, store object using a write-once mode to help you prevent object from being deleted or overwritten for a fixed amount of time,
yes.
indefinitely.
Yeah, scroll down. I think the settings, I'm not yet gotten it. So then there's a part where you have to define the fine grain. Scroll up again. Let's be sure that every material, because to make it private is easy. Anybody can make private, but making public, they are trying to secure the pocket though. Understand me? They are trying to secure us from. Okay, enable it, open it. Save, create it.
Okay.
Now wait. At the left here, you see storage labs,
Yeah.
organization settings, AWS marketplace, no? Block public from seeing it. Touch that, no, don't worry, just leave it. Touch that bucket. Touch the bucket you created now. Click it. Bucket you create. That's the bucket you created.
Yeah.
That's the bucket you created now.
Yes, that's the bucket I created now.
Account snapshot.
5, 7.
You see this at the extreme, you see something like no, not that side. Under create bucket. Under that one, where one is. What's there? Click it. Let's see.
Settings.
What do you have there?
As in the page size of the bucket, 100.
Okay, that's not it. I'm not it. Okay, put an object, save an object inside that bucket.
Okay.
It's faster. Save something inside.
Sorry,
That gate sheet, put that gate sheet.
actually, yeah, I clicked on add. I clicked on add
Okay.
object folder. So where's the gate sheet? Okay, this is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
Go and trash it.
Okay.
Go to permission.
Permission.
This bucket has the
Owner
The
and
bucket.
first setting applied for ownership.
Yeah.
use the bucket policy. That is thing. That's the thing. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Go to
Yeah, that's
properties.
all.
Go to
Okay.
properties.
It's the story class.
The storage is standard, Abby. That's
Yes,
the
standard.
first one.
Yeah.
Scroll down. Do not specify if your bucket policy requires encryption upload. No need. Scroll down. Scroll down. That's last, Abby.
Yeah. Sorry.
Create it again. Click that object. We have the object URL. See, check that object actions.
Okay, sorry. Objects actions. Okay.
Make public is not there.
Yeah.
Cannot be. Okay, I think these people have added some policies. Hold on, let me check what they've added. But it's supposed to be able to be public. Excuse me. Hold on a minute. Just a minute, please. Normally, immediately you create that object, there's a portion that tells you fine-grained management. So it's telling us that the bucket is the one controlling it. I think, go back to your bucket. I think there's a button there It's not that difficult. There's a button that you're supposed to click on the bucket that will give access to the object to be controlled. I think we are missing that button. If we are using CLI, it's easy to just do. Just add 1 or 2 commands and to make it public. Go to the bucket. I think the problem is
This is the bucket.
Okay, that's the bucket.
This is the
Click that
bucket,
bucket.
yeah. So should I open up the bucket? Should I click on permissions?
What permissions do you have there? Edit that permission. Is there edit there?
No, it's just, okay, edit, okay.
The 4 permissions we have there, what are the 4 permissions we have there? It's supposed to be fine grain. There's one permission called fine grain.
No, it's not, no permission for it. So I have the block all public access. Block public access to bucket and objects granted through new access control list. Then I have block public access to bucket and objects granted through any access control list, ACL. Block public access to buckets and objects granted through new public bucket or access point policies. Block public and cross-account access to buckets and objects through any public bucket or access point policies.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay. Okay. Open the object. Okay. I think there is something, but don't worry, just open the object. Open that bucket. Open. Let me open my. This is
okay. So just open the bucket, okay?
The bucket. Open the bucket.
Because even online, that's the same way they're saying. I should just click on action and then choose make public.
Yes, is the way, but the reason why you're not getting it is because there's a permission from the bucket controlling the object. And that until we remove that permission that is controlling the object does not have the right to do it. And before, they have an interface called fine grain and standard. But I can't find it now because that fine grain and standard is what we separate the object will have its right. So in that case, there is another permission. Go click that permission. At the bucket level, there's something. Click the permission. Click permission.
Okay, permission.
Is there a way you can edit? Is there any editing there?
No, the edit is also grayed out.
On top, access object access.
So, Mr. Patrick, if you look at under this access control list, ACL, the whatever. If you read that, it says this bucket has the bucket owner enforced setting. Apply for objective ownership. When bucket owner enforced, can we click on that? Maybe we'll be able to see what.
Yeah, click it. Yes. Yes. This is the one I'm talking about.
Should I go back to this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Click it. Yes. I acknowledge. Yes.
Because that was what I said we should use earlier before.
Now, what do you have there? Now,
go to the bucket can now be public. Okay, so I'm going to the bucket.
So that before it used to be called. It used to be called access list, and you have fine grain, and you have standard. Fine grain means you can enable the bucket to have public. So I think this is a new update on their site. So now you can just go and click the object. Have you clicked it? Refresh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take note of this new development so that next time we have it. That's why we have to keep learning AWS every time. Even those of us using it, we have to keep learning every time. Okay, now you already know, if you are using a CLI, it's simple. You don't need to be running or coming here. You just run and want to stuff. You with one line. When we are doing CLI, you see, with one line, you just create this thing and share and even upload. You understand? So share this link to everybody. Some companies, some media companies, they don't save their file in this thing anymore, YouTube anymore. This is where they use. This is what they use. Some companies also use this to share file with team from company to a company without going to YouTube. Netflix and all those big companies that do with media, this is where they save their file. This is where they save it. And when they save it here, they will not send, you see this link, is what they will share in the site, in the website. They will create a thumbnail, you know, like a normal thumbnail now. Thumbnail, like they will put something that is very captivating at the front, use graphics. They will not put the name of the movie. So immediately you click that name of the movie, bam, you are clicking this URL. The URL will not take them to the S3 bucket. You start streaming. You understand me? So I did an application, an LMS, learning management system. That was 2020. I used S3 bucket. It was so sweet. I worked with one front-end developer, one Laravel PHP developer. And it was sweet. This was what we used. It was so fun. So share it with anybody. Please, if you see that link, just click it. Have you shared it? Shared in the group, this group?
Yes, I have. It's in the chat.
Yeah, we'll open it. Git sheet.
You see Git sheet. So I think henceforth, if you want to share any file with anybody, this is what we'll be using. But I will still maintain my YouTube channel because I'm still using YouTube channel. So if I say, please share this file, share this video, share a message to the group. But if you notice, the time it takes for the file to open is longer. Did you notice it? My own time, yes.
Mine was very fast, though.
Where are you?
Canada, of course.
Huh?
Canada, of course.
Me, I'm in Nigeria.
Yeah,
see, the time it used.
It was almost immediate here too.
Where are you? Where are you
now? I'm in the south coast. I'm in Cape Town, South Africa.
South Africa. Okay, let me tell you, latency is the distance it takes for a file to travel. Africa and America is far. So it's not like it's that slow, but you notice it takes longer time. So that's why when you are creating a bucket, you create a bucket close to the consumer. You understand? But there's a way you can also create this bucket. You attach a CDN. I'll explain to you what the CDN is. That CDN will cache this bucket and save it. So that whenever I want to click it again, I will don't need to click this, look for it. It will save this file close to my region. So that whenever I want to click this file, it will automatically open. So you do not need to go to the server again, just like a RAM. Just open for me. And you get me? That is CDN. So I will talk, that is AWS, call it CloudFront. So that is it. So now you can see this sheet. You can save it.
Well, Mr. Patrick.
Go ahead.
It's actually open here almost immediately.
In where are you now?
I'm in Lagos.
Yeah, in Lagos. In Lagos, Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's a latency. I noticed the latency.
Okay.
There's a latency. So you can open, you can host your website and put it here. Most websites, people like all those websites, you don't need to be launching server to create a static website. I mean, a website that just have people go there to get information. That is why to host a website that is very cheap. I can host an information website for anybody for, say, for $200 a month, or let's say $200 a year. That's big money now. $200, about $100 a year. What I would just do is just create that website, put it in S3 bucket, send the link, the HTML link, you understand me, through this bucket, and attach an HTTPS to that HTML link. So as you click that site, or you put that site, the DNS will call it. You will see your website, but the website is not running any server at all. It's just running in S3 bucket. So many servers, so many static servers are now being moved. So instead of you launching server, installing everything, installing engineers, just to make sure that a site is up, people use storage now, object storage, to launch a website. And I will send you a documentation for it. You can look for its website and move. So now we have this. So this is just to public. There are many ways you can also, you can decide to go back to that stuff. You can go back to your AWS, go back to the S3. Because everybody practice this, so practice this. Because see all those things I took my time to explain. Now there they ask you, okay, what are the types of S3 bucket? What are the type of storage? You say we have block storage. What is the block storage used for? We have S3 bucket. We have a object storage. We have a file storage. Okay, if you have stuff, okay, how do you say I have a company and I want to share my file within my company. I don't want the file to be seen by anybody. I want it to be seen within only the people working that have access. How do you control it? You use ACL, access control list, to do that. You use policy to do that. You cannot understand me. So all of you go and explore this. I'll send you the documentation. Go and explore this. What else do we need to explore here? That you see what we just shared now. You can go to that bucket and just click don't share with public. Nobody will get the file again. The file will stop transmitting. As simple as that. So you can control the time, the number of hours people can view it. That's why you see some sites, they have an admin portal that will give any user timeline that will have access to. So all those ones we're going to do one. Let's not waste our time here. So that is it. Just go to that bucket again, go to the access control, go to the bucket and go to permission and remove it from public. You see that you will not be able to access it. Meanwhile, download it now. You know, you need this sheet. Me, I've downloaded my own. Download it too, because this lady is about to stop us from viewing it.
Sorry. Okay, I'm not muted. Okay, so I'm going back to my bucket and this was when I used it. So I can go back to my click on it. I'll go back to my actions, but I didn't make public. So I can just go back there, right? And
yes, just click yes.
But this one is version anyway.
Bucket, the bucket. Is this the bucket or the object? You are in the object now.
So I mean, okay. So this is the bucket itself.
You can control it. Click the bucket. Click the bucket.
Okay, sorry, just one more step back.
If you click the bucket at the right hand, if you click on the bucket at the right hand side, your top left, I saw.
At the right hand side.
Click on the bucket, the object first, the bucket first, yeah. Click on it.
So I've clicked on it already. Sure.
No, nothing.
Should I go inside?
Just check my, yeah, go inside. Then now go again. Yeah, have you gone inside? Click on it.
Yeah, this is it. So should I click on the
yeah, do that.
itself?
Do that. I think I saw something at the right hand side. Maybe you go through the permission and every other things. Let me see. I saw something at the right hand side.
Oh, the permission is what we have.
Edit.
Guys, right?
Click edit.
So edit. Okay, edit.
Then click that bucket.
Okay.
That don't make public.
Block. Should I just do block or okay.
Yes.
Then
Accept.
Then confirm. Okay.
Now everybody try to access that URL again. You see that?
It's gone.
Just refresh. If you refresh it. You understand me? So you can decide to also do it in a way that only people that have access will be able to have it, or you can decide to share it to people. You can give it the time that it should be accessed. You can control the way your bucket is. But so many things you do with this bucket, but know that you can version it, you can control it, you can give people access to it, You can make it private and still give people access within the company that will have access to it. So if you want to save some secrets, this is where you save. This is an object storage. So when we want to do the database, we'll talk about file storage. Then let's go to block storage.
Okay.
Close here.
Blocks.
Now let me wait. Somebody else should say share screen. Who else has the screen open now? Who else has the AWS account open?
Mr. Patrick,
I'm with you.
I will want to ask a question before leaving this part. Maybe when you're done with this.
Okay, go ahead. Answer your question.
Okay. The site. I'm receiving a kind of response now that I can't proceed. So I've not been able to proceed to all the process that we did. Though I follow everything. It was saying my account is not was not completed. So
Did you put your ATM?
Yes, I put. But do I need to have at least $1 on it?
No, you don't need to have $1 on it. Okay, can I ask you a question? How long have you been running your account?
No, it's just I think last week when we created it.
You sure they validated your account for you?
Yes, they did. They sent a link to me on my email, which I did.
I think they will charge you $1 and return it back. So to confirm that the ATM is valid.
Okay.
Yeah, they will debit you $1 and return the $1 back just to confirm that the account is valid.
Okay, because the credit card I use, I don't have anything in it.
And that's why. So they did not validate the account so that your payment system, because after a while it's free for a year, but after a while you start acquiring some costs, your usage cost.
Okay.
So you can try another ATM card or a valid credit card or something.
No,
that has at least $1.
Okay, I'll transfer money to the ATM. Thank you.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay, please try and activate your account. It shows that your account is not activated because S3 bucket is free. In fact, you can even save more. You can even save 5 for almost 1 year because the money they collect is very small. So if you're not accessing, it means that something is not just right with the account settings. So you have to validate it. So as anybody, I want us to go to the other one to see this night before we leave. Who was sharing the screen yesterday? Prince, are you logged in now? Mr. Prince, are you logged in now?
Yeah,
Are you logged in now?
so.
Did you wash your hand?
Okay, please share your screen. Who is sharing screen now? Please, sorry, before you share screen, anybody have questions concerning the SS3 bucket? Does anybody have questions concerning this SS3 bucket?
I'm good, Patrick. Thank you.
Okay. I say, do you have any questions concerning this bucket?
No, I don't. It's okay.
Peter, do you have? Let me use the word Peter. Peter, do you have any questions?
No, me actually, I just practice what we are doing right now, and I send my link, and I succeed. So, I mean,
please share that link. Share that link with us. Let all of us also know what you're sharing. Hope it's not a private information.
No, it's not. I already said in the chat.
Okay, please. If any of your side chick or your wife send you any personal pictures, don't share it with us, please.
No, it's just a PDF.
Okay. Lekon, do you have any picture? Don't laugh for your laughing. I'll catch you. Lekon, do you have any question? Sheriff, do you have any question?
No, from me.
Sheriff, do you have? Demola, do you have?
No.
Okay.
Just that. Okay, we'll talk about that.
Just that. Okay. No wahala. Okay, now let's move to the other one, please. Prince, we share
I'll
your
stop
screen
sharing
now.
my screen, yeah.
Yes. Okay, this is Prince's screen, Che?
Yep.
Okay, last week we talked about VPC. We created a VPC, Che? And we created a NAT gateway. And I mentioned that today we are going to add a VPC. I want to add an instance inside that NAT gateway. So we're just going to create an instance now and just launch into it, just only today. Tomorrow, I will share the difference between the compute instances. What do I mean by compute instances? Meaning that part of AWS that can manipulate information. Just like, you know what compute is, that can process information, that can process data. You understand? We have four basic types. We have the bare metal, which is a normal server that stays in data center. We have a virtual machine, which is most of the things we are going to be doing here. We have a Docker container. You understand me? And we have a pod. A Docker container, a VM is a server that all of us is using, just like your laptop that you are using now. You see that laptop that you are using? We can decide to put an application, or let me call it an application, a system software, in that your laptop. Everybody in this class will be using your laptop, but despite we are connecting to your laptop, we'll be using it as if it's our own. So that application have the way of sharing the resources of your laptop. You know, you have RAM, you have hard drive, you have RAM, you have hard drive, you have processors, microprocessor. You understand me? For processing. So that application will share those resources maybe into 4. I will be using your laptop. Prince will be using your laptop, or say we'll be using your laptop in different time. And that's why we are using your laptop. We are using different operating system in that your laptop. And we'll be using it as if it's a separate laptop. You understand me? That application, that system software is called an hypervisor. You understand me? It's called an hypervisor. An hypervisor is just like an operating system, but the advantage of an hypervisor is that it helps a system to be virtualized, meaning it helps a system to be divided, to be shared, and even as we are sharing it individually, but we are looking as if we are working on one laptop. But the only way you will now know that we are sharing it is that the resources of the whole system is being shared within us. Some servers can have 250 gigabytes or GIB RAM, or even 64, 128 GIB RAM. That 128 GIB RAM, maybe the hard drive is like 1 petabyte or two petabytes. You know, it's heavy. I can launch it to that server and collect 2 gig RAM from it, and collect 500 gig hard drive from it. You understand me? And use it to create my own instance. For example, I'll put my operating system on it and be using it. You can also go to that server and create your instance out of it. You understand me? And be using your laptop. Everybody will be using the laptop, but we will look as if we are using separate system, but we are using one server. So that application that you put, that software that you put in that application that enable you to use it is called an hypervisor. So in AWS data center, they have already put this system software in their in their server, and they have connected it to the network. So what we are going to do now, we are going to launch into their server and create a compute instance out of it. You understand me? So that process is called virtualization. So some laptop, you can even get a virtual bus. How many of us have heard of virtual bus? Have you heard of virtual bus?
I've heard of it. It's like a VM.
Beautiful. A virtual bus is a VM. A virtual bus that you put in your system is an hypervisor. That hypervisor will be able to enable you to have another laptop inside your laptop. Let me use that word. You understand? Oh, you have it here. Share an hypervisor. Is this Prince Wabi? Share one of VirtualBox. You have a VirtualBox on your system now, or you don't have?
I've deleted it. Yeah, no, I reformatted my system to install Ubuntu.
Beautiful.
Don't think I have it again.
So some system, like for example, now if you are using a Windows and you want to start using Ubuntu, you can just get a VirtualBox and install it on your system and install Ubuntu into it and be using it. But it's not the best way to really enjoy Ubuntu experience. Why I encourage all of us to have Ubuntu is because I want you to not just use it because of training. I want you to start using it on your day-to-day life. It will have a way when you start configuring servers, you will know where these files are, so it won't look strange. When you see XCD, when you see var, you won't look like you are speaking jargons. You understand me? That is the reason. And the language in their terminal is bash. Most server uses what? Bash. Okay, now let's create a VirtualBox from AWS service. Go to compute instance in AWS. As you are opening it, let me tell you the difference between server and serverless. A server, when you say a server is an application is serverless, an application is server. In a literal word, there's no word like serverless. However, what the AWS is actually referring to is that you are going to be using the application without thinking of the server that is going to be installed. Because the AWS will take over they are going to manage your server for you. They are going to manage your hypervisor for you. That's the meaning of serverless, meaning you're just going to come and start using the application. You understand? That's the meaning of serverless. So, but when you say a server application, meaning you are going to be in charge in setting up the server and the network. You understand? So, this is a compute instance. This is the most popular compute instance that you have. I know most company always use this. For example, let's just do the normal popular demand before going to critical things. So if you go to AWS, you go to EC2 dashboard. EC2 means ECC, and which means Elastic Cloud Compute. Means E for Elastic, CC. Meaning of the word elastic is that you can increase the size even as the system is running. You can decrease it. You know, that process of increasing and decreasing is called elastic. You can decide to add more server to it and do it to scale up and scale out. It's called elastic. That's the meaning of Elastic Cloud Compute. The compute is the engine, while the cloud is because you are connecting to it through the internet. So having explained EC2, now let's create a server. So if you want to launch a server, we have so many ways. First of all, you have to set up your network. Remember I talked about network, VPC. You have to set up your network. So now let's go and set up your network. You go to VPC. This time, let's be fast. We have already done setup of network last time. Now shit. Let's be fast.
Which VPC? The one on the right? This one?
Okay, for now, today let's just use public. Let's use a default VPC. Go to create instance. Go to create instance. Go to EW. No, don't worry. Don't go to service.
This one.
You're already in the dashboard.
Yeah.
Go to create instance. Go down. Launch. Go down. Scroll down. Launch an instance. Launch an instance. You are past it. Yes. So AWS cannot migrate the server before they don't. So meaning you can move server from one place to the other. That's good. Okay, name it. Don't put special character, just name it. Call it Cloud Enthusiast. Or us lowercase, no uppercase. Hurry up. Now, tomorrow, I want to tell you what he's doing, but today, let's just create a server. But there are some things I want us to know. What did he say here? Application and OS image. Click it. Have you clicked it now? Okay, now they have changed their interface. See, AMI means Amazon Machine Image. It's the same thing like you bought a laptop, you want to put an operating system on it. You know operating system now, normal operating system. So it's different from an hypervisor. Hypervisor has already been put on a server. This one talks about AMI, means Amazon Machine Image. So in that Amazon Machine Image, you can see different types. We have Amazon Linux. That Amazon Linux is CentOS. We have Ubuntu, which is what we are using your laptop now, Abi. Then we have Windows. We have Red Hat. Red Hat is owned by Oracle. It's owned by Java Sun. You know Sun. They are the owner of Red Hat. Most times you can just launch Red Hat unless you have the license. It's also a Linux laptop. It's also a Linux operating system. Then we have SUSE. Then we have Debian. Scroll down, scroll down. Just keep scrolling. We have Debian. We have what? macOS. macOS have come here to stay. We have a Debian. Debian is almost like Ubuntu, but they have almost similar language. All of them here are Linux except for Windows. Scroll down, go down. That's the reason I say go back, scroll back, no, scroll up again. We have Windows there, Abi. Windows is not here. We have Windows. So all this distribution, all of them are Linux except Windows. That macOS you see there is an advanced CentOS. AWS Linux is mostly CentOS. But Ubuntu and every other one are Debian. But today, let's use Ubuntu. Since we're already using Ubuntu Linux, this is the reason why I say we should learn Ubuntu. Click Ubuntu. Most applications are either compatible with Ubuntu or compatible with CentOS. Scroll up. What happened? I'm beginning to see line on my laptop. Or is it my laptop or what?
Something Sheriff. Who is Sheriff? Sheriff struck a line on the screen there.
Sheriff.
So sorry. I don't know how it got there. Sorry.
Sheriff, erase it. Or else I'll report it to all your security team. I'm joking. Continue.
You said I should scroll up and right there now.
Okay. Now, what is telling you should give it a name. Name it the server. Have you named the server? Scroll down.
My name is it this one?
Have you selected this?
Yeah,
Selected Ubuntu. Now, the Ubuntu will tell you the different version. Use that free trial. Then what other things you should do? You describe the AMI. 64-bit, you're like you are launching a laptop using 64-bit. Now it's not telling you which type of processor do you want to give. That's the other part that is telling you now. Instance type. So the instance type is which type of processor. We have TC2. Look at TC2, you say it has one CPU. You understand me? One core CPU and 1 gig RAM memory. That first one talks about the family. The other one talks about the CPU, while the other one talks about the RAM. Understand me? For now, let's use the lowest one, which is TC2, 1 gig RAM, 1 gigahertz processor speed, 1 core processor, 1 core, single core, and 1 RAM. No, just select one of that one. No, select the one that is already at default. Yes. There are some applications you want to run may require more resources. That's when you now start coming. There are even some instance that comes with graphics card. Maybe you want to play game. You don't have money to buy all those malware, all those alienware. Let me use the word alienware. Sorry, it's not malware, it's alienware. You can just go to AWS, pay for them, pay with them, set up your game in this server and start playing it as if you are using cloud. So you're only going to be paying for the internet and for the time you are using it. So you don't need to be buying Alienware anytime you want to watch that game or play that game. Some games are like that now. They are all cloud-based. So how many of us go to Facebook? You can see so many games now running in Facebook that you can just from the Facebook and be playing. It's actually in a server. Okay, now scroll down. So very soon, people buying multi-million naira project gadgets will no longer be buying like that because they'll be using cloud-based, especially when 5G is up. So you are too fast. And I is telling you, select the network settings. We are using default now, but in our class, in our next class, we are going to set up, I've already taught us how to set up a custom network. This part is telling you now you're going to have a resources. How will you be able to access these resources? It's going to be through the network, which is VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. So let's use public for, let's use private now. Now the firewalls, which is also known as security group, these people are trying to imitate one cloud infrastructure. Why? Why are they are upgrading their stuff? Okay. Select the one that is existing. No, there's no one existing. Click if there's anyone there. There's always one that always come at default. Okay, use that one. A security group is talking about the firewalls. What is firewalls? The port you are going to enable, the port you are not going to enable. No, create one. Let's create one. Let's create one. Yeah, create it. Allow what? SSH, yes. Allow HTTP, allow that one. Click both of them. Allow HTTP and allow HTTPS. Okay, that's the default. So at internet, if you're going to have an internet gateway, you need to have everything. Scroll down. Okay, now configure storage. Remember I told you the type of storage we have. We have, this is a block storage. It's like a normal hard drive. You know what I mean? So we have general purpose, use general purpose. Click that general purpose. You see that there are other hard drive that is there. Click that general purpose. You can see there's general purpose SSD. There's general purpose SSD, different sizes. There's code HDD. You can see HDD there. There's throughput HDD. There's magnetic disk. Magnetic disk is very, very affordable. You understand? So you can choose anyone. SSD is expensive. You understand me? From under up. But because we are doing trial, you can just use anyone. Use standard. Okay, you see the hard drive, it has given you 8 gig. 8 gig as a size. You can leave it at 8 gig or where you're testing. But if you want to launch an application, you need to increase the size. Scroll down. Advanced details. It's not necessary, but scroll down.
That's the end.
Yeah. Teach that, click the advanced details. What do you have there?
IAML instant identity access.
Then press that one, click that spot. I don't want us to spend money. We have two types of, that one is type of billing. That spot you see there, request spot. We have type of billing. We have what we call pay as you go. We have spot, we have reserved. Pay as you go means you are only going to be paying for what you use. And it must be available. But spot means any server that they are not using now, any server that they're not using now, they should make it available for your application to use. It's going to be very, very cheap, but it's going to be only available when people are not using that server. So you may be working, it may tell you that that server is no longer available. They will give another server that is available, but your IP address will change. It's very, very affordable for scalability and other resources that is not highly legacy application or enterprise application. But there are some applications that it does not support. But the good news is that it's very, very, very cheap to use. You can, okay, scroll down, go to my, what is it saying there? IAM group. No need for using IAM. You can tell an instance to control another instance. But then I'll talk about that next meeting. Create it. This is just basic. Have you created it? No, you're creating VPC now. I didn't ask you to create VPC now. Go back.
This is IML.
No, I didn't ask you to do that. Just go back to your instance. No, the instance is open. The second will be your third tab, not that tab, the other one. The first one, no. Your tab now, up, your tab.
I know, just give me a moment.
Okay.
This is it.
No, that one, yes. Just create launch instance.
This one, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Create key pairs.
A key pair is like an SSH key. You understand me? Just that when you are creating an SSH key in AWS, we put the private key in the server, and it will ask you to, we put the public key in the server. It will ask you to download the private key. When you are launching into an instance, you give people you keep your private key in your system, you give them the public key. But because AWS wants you to connect to it, they will give you the private key and they will keep the public key inside the server. That private key that they give to you is called a key pair. That's that you are downloading. So you give it a name. So this is not different from the SSH key you created from your server last time. But just that this time, this one is having arrow SA. Okay, keep it, yes. And what do you have there? PEM. Okay, download it.
Download or create.
Create it, yes, create it.
Oh, it's downloaded.
But first of all, download, then you will not create. You go launch instance. Launch instance now.
So it is like we are setting up a virtual machine, like a laptop on the cloud.
Yes. So what you just did now is the basics of, we call it the basics of IaaS, infrastructure as a service. But there are other things that we've not done yet that we're going to do, like the load balancer. But we just checked about the security group. We've not created a custom security group yet, but we only just use a default security group that we just give SSH so that we can be able to SSH it into it. HTTP, which is port 80, and HTTPS, which is port 443. That's what we just give it to it. So it's basic. But tomorrow we are going to dig deep dive into it, how to customize it, because all your application you are running will be either in a server or in a ECS, Elastic Container Registry, or in a VM. But all these three things I mentioned now, even the Kubernetes we are talking about, make use of EC2. So if you don't understand EC2, you will not understand Kubernetes infrastructure. You will not understand Docker infrastructure, because VM is like the minimum requirement. And when you're asking for interview, they're going to ask you what's the difference between a VM, a Docker, and a Kubernetes. But now understand VM first. We're going to go into that. Scroll down. Okay, open the system, view instances. What I'm going to do now, hold on. What I'm going to do now, hold on. I want to say something about, I don't want that thing to be recorded. Okay, we're continuing. So today let's just launch to our service and let our server, our virtual box that we created from AWS. So everybody have downloaded that SSH key. Let's SSH into our server. Go to your terminal. Go to your terminal. Okay, who will take the lead now? I will stop sharing your screen. But be on standby. You share now.
I can share my screen.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
But also be on standby. You know the server is close to you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, beautiful. I like the way your screen is bold. Now, clear it.
Okay, I'm coming. Just a minute.
Open your terminal. Let everybody see what. Let it be bold, more bold. Where is the file?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what it is. It's in my download.
Go to download. Is that CD or CC? Okay, beautiful. Now, run.
The file is here.
Okay. Run CH mode, that's change mode.
I've done that. I've changed mine, but let me just show you. LS list.
Should I do 777?
If you do 777, you have given it right for anybody to use that file. It's also good.
So can you see? I've done change mode.
Okay, you've changed it. Okay,
Yes.
everybody, you can change it to 777. Change mode 400. Use 400, or you can use 777, or you can use any other format. But
Just for the purpose of the training, let me just do it again.
Change mode. Change mode 77444 77. Enter.
Do you want me to do 400 or 777?
Use 400. Use 400. It's 400. That's
okay.
400.
It's done now.
Okay, good. That means you give the user the right to use it. So what you are going to do, just type SSH.
Okay, I need to go back to SSH or just SSH.
Yeah. Say SSH.
Yeah.
Minus dash I.
Okay.
Then open a quotation.
Quote. Single or double?
In that one, that single or double.
Okay.
But put that SSH key here inside.
Oh, okay. So hold on. I need to cut that SSH first so that I.
No, you're not cutting it. The name.
Oh, just the name. Okay.
So SSH, dash, one of our hyphen now. Hyphen dash I, open quote. Immediately you type the beginning, you type tab, put tab, type your tab, supposed to complete, cover it, close it.
It's closed.
Put your IP address at the end, the public IP address that you picked.
Okay, 1 minute. Sorry, I'm not sure I have that IP now. 1 minute, I need to get it.
I also shared it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Where's my Zoom?
And paste it there. So the SSH means
is up, Toby. Chat up. No, yeah, there, but it's up. Chat. So after.
Thanks, man. Thanks, sis.
Have you copied it now?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, paste it here. To copy in Linux is Control-Shift-C.
Yeah.
To paste is Control-Shift-V.
V, yeah.
Instead of Control-V, you just add Shift to it. If you type Enter, if everything works well, you're supposed to be inside your instance. Say yes. Yes. Why?
Okay.
Is it why or yes now?
It's yes, he asked for.
What happened?
And it's a permission denied. Public key. Permanent warning. Permanently adding this IP to the list of known hosts. This permission denied. Public key.
Okay, try it again.
I'm also having the same thing, or should we? Okay. Same thing as well.
What can make that happen is that
we're not in our root.
Root does not. The root does not. Okay, give it a root. Give it a sudo. Or root is not supposed to. Give it a sudo.
Sudo. Okay.
Okay, enter. Enter. I don't think it's the root. I think I know what is going to happen. Just continue. What did he tell you?
Just a minute. I'm just about to apply. Yes. Denied. Please log in as a user on Ubuntu rather than your root user.
Okay. Now go back. You're already inside, have you? So put Ubuntu at the IP address.
Okay, great. So I'll do that with sudo, right?
Yes. Ubuntu at
I mean, together.
Everything together.
Okay.
Ubuntu at. What you are saying is that enter as Ubuntu.
Yeah.
Enter.
Sudo SSH.
Toby, I think there's an N missing in the Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. Okay.
Enter. You're inside the server now.
Oh, yes, I'm inside the server now.
Okay. How many of us have that same thing? Ubuntu at, that is the user.
Okay. So it now identified me as Ubuntu user with this IP address.
If you notice now, is it close?
How is
close
this the user? Sorry. Because like, how is this the user? Like, is the user not supposed to be like say Toby?
Okay. Ubuntu AWS has a default user for all operating system or AMI. If you are using AMI, Amazon AMI, the default user is EC2. Are you hearing me? If you are using SUSE, SUSE has its own. But if you are using Ubuntu, Ubuntu is also Ubuntu. But from here, you cannot create another user. You can create Toby user, you can create anybody user in this server. Right now, you are using the server. If you notice now, it's not different from your terminal. Is it different?
No, it's not.
No.
I can actually do ls.
You can do anything you like. So that's why I say we all should have a lineup. So that idea of server thing, nothing is already cancelled. So those things that you see in your laptop, / everything, they are still here. You are in your home directory.
Okay. So Patrick, the main user for all the Linux, this particular OS is Ubuntu.
Yes, the default user is
default
Ubuntu.
user. Okay.
But Ubuntu cannot install anything. The difference between your laptop and server is that this laptop now, the server you have, anything you install in it, people can access it through the public IP address. But your laptop, nobody can access it. You understand me? So that's why it's called a server. So let's quickly do something. Apt, update it. Update the server. Apt update.
1 minute.
Use sudo this time because sudo Ubuntu does not have rights to do that. So you have sudo apt update. Finish. Enter. Is there anything different from after you'll be doing?
Nothing, no. Not the same thing.
So right now, anything you want to do, in the server, you can install anything you like. Just the way we are installing those things. What are the things we are installing? Code, VSC, anything. But for now, let's just try something. Okay. Just install Nginx. Nginx is an application that can read HTML file. You understand me?
Is it going to use? Will you use apt or to use?
You are using apt. Or if you've not yet installed Snap in the server now.
I have. Oh yes, not true. Yeah.
In the server, if you want to use Snap, you can install Snap into say apt install Snap. There's nothing different. Okay. The same language that your laptop is using, the same language your Linux is using. So it's just that you are working in a different environment. I bet you this is the most interesting part. And this is the first time I'm training a student using Ubuntu. Before we always just do. So you guys have an edge. So all you just need to do is keep flogging. Any application you see that you want to install, go to the internet, just look for the application, do this simple thing, start installing an application. You use the public IP address and access. Okay, just install Nginx, apt install Nginx.
Okay.
Nginx is another lab I'm going to take. It's a very, very interesting lab I'm going to take. Okay. If you don't want them to be asking you why, just put -y. That is yes.
I think the recursive is also good, so there's an interaction.
Beautiful. Clear your screen. Clear your screen. I don't like it to be empty. Now, say apt. No, apt cannot start Ubuntu. Yeah, start engineers. Just say service engineers start. Enter. Use sudo.
Okay. It's asking for password.
Password. Do you have password?
No. Let me do it again. Sudo service engine stats.
Okay. The reason why I will ask for password that time is because you use service start, so it's trying to validate who you are.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Now the service has started. If you say Nginx status, no, you say service engineers status. Enter. You say it's running, Abby. You can say it's green there.
Yeah,
It's
yes,
running.
active
Yeah.
and running.
Copy the public IP address that you use in launching to that server. Put it in your URL. You see that the Nginx is already running.
You mean I should use call, right?
No, just copy the public IP. Go to your browser, copy this public IP address, and put it in your browser.
I'm only sharing my terminal.
And close your terminal and share the whole thing. Let everybody have fun. Everybody do the same thing. You have the same experience. How many of us has logged in? But please hold on. Let one person finish. Put your public IP address there. Enter. You see Nginx. You see Nginx there.
Nginx. Yeah.
So you see that IP address that you see. It is what you use your DNS to cover. Most DNS you see, there's an IP address by it. That's why I'm going to talk about DNS. Use the domain name service to hide this IP address or the hide URL of this. If I go share the public URL of this server, you're still going to have the same thing. So this Nginx, any application a developer design, there's a place you put it in this Nginx, it will display here.
So quick one. What is an Nginx and what is this use of an Nginx?
Beautiful.
How do we tie it to the AWS that we are already working on, for like the instance that we're working on, which is the server?
Beautiful. A server enable you to share resources for people to see. Correct. But whatever thing you put inside the server is what people are going to see. Yes. Now we have two types of web application, meaning an application that is able that people can use to launch a web app, a software that can be seen through the website. That's called web and application. You understand me? The application that can be viewed through the website. We have two major web server. We have the Nginx and Apache.
Yeah.
Now we're having more. Now Nginx is like Microsoft Word. You know, Microsoft Word can read Word document, Abi. CorelDRAW can read graphics file.
Graphics, correct.
Nginx can read HTML file. And Apache can read HTML file. So any application that can read HTML file and interpret it for people to see is called a web application.
Okay.
Because most applications you're going to be designing is going to be either HTML or PHP or other application. But whatever application you're going to design, you must return back either Nginx, either HTML or PHP, so that this application can read it and translate it through the website. Everybody can see.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about Nginx. I'm going to be talking. Nginx is another thing because Nginx can be used for web application. It can be used for proxy. It can be used as a load balancer. It can be used for so many things. We're going to be making use of Nginx throughout, because if you know Nginx very well, adding to your skill set, you are already good to go. Most job description mention Nginx. It's not this basic one that we just did. For me, I use Nginx in many things. I use it for ingress controller. I use it for many things. In fact, it's one of my best tools. Okay, let's not waste time here. Okay, everybody, don't install Nginx again. Let me go to who again? Who have logged into the server? Let's just round up. Okay. Who have logged into the server?
I'm logged in.
Share your screen. SA, are you with us? SA, she has left. SA, are you here? Yvonne? Yvonne has left. Okay, share your screen, please.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, now you're already inside the Nginx server. You're already inside the Ubuntu server.
Instance.
So this Ubuntu server is not different from your laptop. Now,
yeah,
I want you to go, if it says cd.ssh, you see that SSH will come out. No, you just say cd.ssh.
cd.ssh, okay?
Enter.
Yeah.
So you're already inside.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
You can see you're already inside. Okay. So is it different from what we did in cd.ssh in your stuff?
No, not at all.
So go back home, see cd. Create file, touch.
Okay, file.
Enter. ls. List it. Is there anything different? Make file.
Yep.
Sorry, I made new files.
File.
I made folder and I made some files, so you can delete those.
I should make it. Okay.
You can delete all of them. So is there any different now? Okay, are you feeling like you are working in the server now? Is there anything spectacular?
There's nothing spectacular.
So we have crossed so many bridges, you know. That was why we took time to do those things. It's very easy now. Now there's a folder in Nginx application called XCD, not called HTML, but it's inside the XCD. So say CD /. No, we'll put everything together. CD /.
Okay.
Go forward now, put space now. CD space.
Okay, CD space /
XCD, etc.
etc.
/ first before you put etc.
Okay.
Enter. Let's see if there's a folder like that. Yes. ls list.
Okay.
What do you see there?
I remember installing the Kubernetes. Okay, so please just go ahead. Yeah.
Beautiful. So go to CD. Enter Nginx. There's
So
an
Nginx.
Nginx.
Clear your screen so that we can see what you type. Right.
Okay. Sorry. Just a moment.
CD.
So yeah, CD.
CD Nginx. It should be Nginx.
Nginx. Right. Did I get it there, Jim?
CD Nginx.
Sorry, just I'm not sure. NG.
So check what do we have there.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Is there, Abi?
Yes, it's there. I think
when we install the application, it came to save here. You understand me?
Okay, sorry. CDNG.
Just press tab. That's why you're making mistake. Press NG.
That's right.
So you see there's a folder called. What are the folder here? Name of the folder.
config.d fastcgi.conf fast_params.
Those folder. What are the folders there?
I mean, I don't know the extension.
Do we have HTML file there?
There's no HTML file there.
We have site enabled there.
Sorry,
we have site enabled.
We have site available. We have site enabled here. Do you want me to
go to that site enabled?
Okay. Oops.
Enter.
Sorry.
See this site, just press site. See these sites, there's S. E, it,
S.
then dash E.
I should not use my
No,
tab.
just if you use your tab, it's not complete. You have to mention the one you are going for.
Okay.
But we have CD enabled, CD LS.
Okay.
What do you have there? You have your stuff there, Abby.
Default.
What do you see there? You see default there, Abby. Cut into that default. See the default.
Do you want me to do CD default? You want me to?
Cut. If you see all this
Yes,
default here, you can see this is your server configuration file.
Yeah.
This is where everything, what I mean by server, this is where the link is. You see there's a link where www is. You can see where your PHP file is. You can see where your.
Okay.
So you see this var dot / www. No, only that var. Copy it. var dot www. Just stop at www. For the other one is just an example.
Okay.
And copy it.
Okay.
You copy the / at the front.
Not at all. Let me just copy that.
Okay. Good. So if you want, wherever place you want the server to listen to, please, I don't want to go there. That will be when we are talking about engineers. Go back to your home directory, CD.
Okay.
Then CD into that file you just copied now. Into that folder you just copied. Enter.
Okay.
LS. You see HTML inside, Abi?
Yes.
CD into that HTML.
Okay.
Cut that file inside there called index.html.
Okay.
Only the index.html, only the index.html.
So there's no index, it's actually a full like index dots.
Yes, copy everything.
Okay.
Are you sure it's not two folder there? It's just one?
It's just one. It's just one.
Okay.
But if we send total 4.
Cut it. Cut means read. Those of us that are new to cut, read. Enter. You see what you have there? What did you see there?
The welcome to Internet.
Go to the site.
Okay.
That site, is it different from what you are seeing here?
No, it's not.
So anything you write here now, inside that file, is all will display in people for people to see. Most application you write, this is where they save it, that you go and see. So now go to that file. You see that file? These are the things you see there, Nabi. So if you go to that file and edit, just vim into it, VIM.
Okay.
VIM, always add M to it. Vim into that complete. Vim is easy. It's almost an advanced VI. You understand me? So just add something to it. Go to that portion where it said, welcome to engineers. You go to that portion. Press your eye, just edit. No, just say, welcome to Cloud 24 Enthusiasts.
Welcome to
Cloud Training for Enthusiasts.
Cloud Training.
Okay, if you are finished, this is an HTML file. Save it. Save now means normal. It will not show yet. Have you saved? You've not saved it.
Saved.
Okay. Why it will not be able to save? Because you didn't use sudo command to write that vim.
Okay.
You didn't use sudo command to write the vim.
Okay.
Use sudo command to write that vim fast. Only Q. Yes, Q.
So how do I do that?
Sudo vim.
Sudo vim. Okay. Interesting.
And pull that file. Well, we are still using that root user, not the root user. You're not using a root user. So enter. Quick. Let's edit this thing.
Okay.
Enter. Go to that. Please make sure that you are within that space. Don't touch those code, because those code, press I. Then just say welcome to cloud training for enthusiasts. Then save it. Then say engineers reload, service engineers restart.
Is this okay?
Enter. What did he tell you?
So I should try to sudo it.
Sudo service engineers restart.
Services not found.
It's not services, service.
Okay.
Enter. Now go to that site. Refresh.
Can you clear, please?
What did you see?
Okay. It's saying welcome to cloud training. It changed.
So anything you edit this file, this is where all this. If I have a website that I want to put here, that website is an HTML file. I'll just copy the website and put it here and run it. And remove all this HTML here. Everything I do here will start appearing on the site. So most sites you see, this is what happens if they are using a VM. But if you are using a Docker, it's another thing. If you are using a Kubernetes, it's another thing. But the regular server this is it. So I will explain to you in our next class, why do people use Docker? Why do they use Kubernetes? Why can't we just, as simple as this, be deploying our resources? That will be a discussion for tomorrow. Load balancer, why load balancer? Why do we need to have a custom VPC? I will discuss that one tomorrow. But just understand that this is the basic, the appreciation we did last time joining this, using Linux, GitHub and everything. You can even link your GitHub here. Use this one to link to your GitHub and use this instance to work. Are you getting me? I'll explain to you what's a basting host. We'll talk about that one tomorrow. So I enjoyed our class today. Any question, please, can you stop sharing your screen? Let's quick round up. Sorry, this class took longer than expected, but we have so much ground to cover. So we need to cover it. So any question, please. Any question, please? Any question? Any question? Prince, did you call? Did you follow up? Did you follow this lab?
I missed the end part of the lab after I shared the screen. So I will call you. We'll talk, yeah, because my Ubuntu is on another laptop, so
okay. Yvonne, are you still with us? Yvonne came in and left again. Dolakbo, okay, you were the one that was doing the class. Sheriff, did you get it?
I'm with you, sir.
Hope you follow through.
Yes,
Nikon,
at some point. Yeah.
Nikon, hope you follow through.
Yes, I did.
Toby, hope you follow through.
I'll have to go back to look at the last part, but it was okay.
Okay. You can play along. Those of you that are still awake, for us here in Nigeria, it's already late. But by God's grace, very soon we'll be sharing the same time zone.
It's 1 a.m. Yeah.
1 a.m. over there in South Africa. So you guys are even ahead of us.
Yes, by 1
So,
hour.
but it's to me, I enjoyed it. You guys enjoyed it.
Yeah,
yes,
it
I
was
did.
an interesting class. Yes.
Did you learn something?
I don't know if it's possible, if we can get the recording this night, so that we can quickly check it again before our class tomorrow.
Okay, I'll do that. Immediately after the class, I'll wait for it to for it to build before I go to bed. So I had fun. Please go and start playing with your AWS. It's your own. That's why I say you should use your account. Nobody has it. And Prince Will, you can delete this instance. You understand? Or should we keep it for tomorrow? Let's keep it to tomorrow. Just stop it. Don't delete it. Just stop it so that we won't be collecting money. But if we run from today to tomorrow, it will not still collect money because you need to run like 23 days before it will reach your normal stuff.
We can stop it tomorrow then. Yeah.
We can stop it tomorrow, yes. Let it run. So play with it, do everything with it, and let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. Please, without being in a high speed, we'll not miss class from now on. Please, I beg you, please. Okay, thank you so much, and thanks for coming. And my name is Osatwame Patrick again. Welcome. This is Cloud Training for Enthusiasts. So catch you tomorrow, same time. Bye-bye.